All right, so today we are starting it's kind of like a half chapter on inequalities. It's chapter 10 if you're following along in your book. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is graphing inequalities, since there's sort of the basic information you need to know about inequalities. So we're going to fill in these statements with a less than, greater than, or equal to. So what goes in between a 2 and a 3? A less than. Very good. A 5 and a 4. Greater than. A 3 and a negative 1. Greater than. 5 or 10 over 2. That's an equal to. Very good. Negative 7 or negative 4.
Negative 4.
Negative 4 is like the bigger. Yeah, a lot of people think of this as like a Pac-Man. You know, who's he going to eat? Eats the bigger one. So yeah, with the negatives, I like to think of like owing people money. Would you rather owe someone $7 or owe them $4?
7.
Obviously, you'd rather owe them 4.
7 because of inflation.
Uh-huh. Okay, number 6.
Less than.
Negative 5. Is less than.
2.
Negative 2 has more value. Yes, if you were going to owe someone $2 or owe them $5, you'd rather owe them $2. Okay, these I like to type in the calculator.
4 over 7.
So if you do 4 divided by 7, you get 0.57. If you do 11 divided by 21, you get 0.52. So the greater than symbol.
Oh, I just multiplied the bottom.
Yeah, you got it right without doing it.
You like cross multiply?
No, I just multiplied the bottom by 3 because I know 7.
Oh, so you made them both have the same denominator? Yeah, if you don't have a calculator, that's a good way to do it. Very good. Any questions? So here are these symbols written out in words. We just talked about less than, greater than. There are some other ones you'll see a lot, and it's with the line under it. So if it's greater than with a line under it, it's greater than or equal to. Less than with a line under it is less than or equal to. And then, of course, just the greater than, less than. All right, so below that little chart in your notes, you'll see this statement. A solution of an inequality is any number that makes the inequality true. So example 1 says determine whether each number is a solution of x is less than or equal to 7. So is 3 a solution? Like if you put 3 in for the x, would that be true?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 is less than or equal to 7. What about negative 2? Yes. What about 9? No. What about 7?
Yes.
Yes. So you're just checking each one. Put yes or no.
You're lucky. You get to put your feet up.
I would not describe any part of this situation as lucky. But thank you. All right, any questions? Here's number 2. So same idea, but now it's x is greater than 3. So is 2 a solution? No. Is 0 a solution? No. Is negative 5 a solution? No. Is 15 a solution? Yes. Is 3 a solution?
No.
Right. If there was the or equal to line underneath, then 3 would be a yes. But here it has to be greater. Like 3.1 would work, but not 3. Questions? All right. Next page. So this says to graph an inequality, use the following procedure. Draw a line graph with 3 dashes. For less than or greater than, use an open circle on the number. For less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, use a closed circle on the number. So an open circle means that number is not included. So similar to the 3 idea from the last example, 3 is not a solution. So we would not color in the circle on the 3. It would be an open circle. But we use an open circle on 3 to show that everything, even just slightly bigger than 3, would be a solution. But not the 3. So filling in the circle means it is part of your solution set. Leaving the circle open shows that it is not part of your solution set. So I want to graph the following. Here is example A. So I want to graph on the number line x is less than 8. So here's your number line, right? We want 3 dashes, and we put your number in the middle. So if we're talking about an 8, 8 goes in the middle. And then just put the numbers around 8. So we're just sort of zooming in on one part of the number line. Now, is 8 part of our solution? No. So I'm just going to circle the 8, not the actual number 8, where the dash meets the number line. I'm going to circle that. And then you got to decide where this would be true. What's a number that would be true here? 7. So I'm going to color into the 7 direction. So things that would make this true are like 7, 6, 5, 4. So that's why I'm going to the left. And then you color in the arrow too to show that that's the way that works. Any questions?
So it goes in the direction the arrows.
Some teachers teach you to think of this as like an arrow. I am not one of those teachers.
I understand that.
Yep. Okie dokie. I would prefer you understand the reason behind the direction we're coloring and not a shortcut. Yay! Comprehension. Okay, questions on this one? All right. Part B, so we want x is greater than or equal to -5. So on your number line, what number are we going to put right in the middle? -5. Here's a tricky one. Remember, when you're in the negative, the larger the number, the smaller the value, so those are to the left. So it's kind of backwards when you get into the negatives. All right, so I'm going to circle the -5. Do I fill that in or leave it open? Fill it in because it is or equal to. 5 is part of our solution. And then where would the x values be greater? To the right, like 0 and all the positive numbers, or to the left, like that's where they'd be greater? So like -7 would be greater than? No, we want the 0 in the positive direction. So I'm going to go to the right. All right. $11 is less than x. It is a whole lot easier to graph these and reason your way through these when the x is in the front. So anytime x is not in the front, I'm going to rewrite it. So if 11 is, I always like to think of like who's smaller. If 11 is smaller than the x, when you rewrite it, 11 should still be smaller than the x. Okay, the big mouth was eating the x. When you change the order of things, the big mouth should still be eating the x. All right, what numbers do I want on my number line? 10 and 11 and 12. Fill it in or leave it open? Open. Right or left?
Right. I just said whatever it's called. It's right. It's right.
Think of a number that would make this true.
12.
12 would make it true. That's to the right of 11. That's one of the reasons we rewrite it. Because if you're using that arrow trick that was brought up a minute ago, you would be coloring in the wrong direction. That's why I don't particularly like the arrow trick. It will work, though, when the variable's in the front, but when it's not, it'll screw you up. Questions?
So as long as we move it to the front, it always works.
The arrow trick will work as long as your variable is in the front. But I still don't like it. All right, so x is greater than -4 2/3. So on your number line,
Would it matter if we did -5, -4 2/3, then -4 1/3?
so you want to put,
What I did was like -5 on the left, in the middle -4 2/3, then on the right -4 1/3.
yeah, and then just put -4. It's nice to have the two whole numbers on the ends. But yeah, so he just labeled this extra line right here. So since it's -4 2/3, I'm breaking the distance between -4 and -5 into 3 equal parts. And then this one is where we're talking about. Okay?
Wouldn't that be 4.75?
No, 4 2/3
No,
is 4.66667.
6
Yep. All right, so fill it in. Left or right? Right. All right, next. 1/2 is greater than or equal to x. So I'm going to rewrite this. How will I rewrite this?
X is
less than or equal to.
X is less than or equal to 1/2. Good. Then what?
0 1/2 1.
Good. So on your number line, I'm going to have 0. I'm going to have 1/2, and I'm going to have 1. Open or close circle on 1/2. Close it in. Left or right? Left. Very good. Seems like you guys are getting the hang of this one pretty quick. We can maybe pick up the pace a little bit. So x is greater than or equal to 5/4. Ooh.
Wouldn't that be 1 1?
Yeah, it's easier if you think about it as 1 1/4 to show that you're greater than 1, but you're not yet to 2. So again, I'm going to put the numbers, the whole numbers to the left and to the right. If it's out of 4, I want 4 equal sections, which means I need 3 lines. It's kind of tricky. But to get 4 parts, you divide it up 3 times. So I'm going to go to 1 of the fourths. Fill it in or leave it open?
Fill.
Fill it in. Left or right?
Right.
Right. All right, -17 is greater than or equal to x. What goes next?
-18, -17, -16.
Wait, I gotta rewrite it first. I'm sorry. How should I rewrite it?
X is less than or equal to -something.
Very good. X is less than or equal to -17. So yeah, I will need -18 and -16 Leave it open or closed, or what do you want me to do?
Close.
Close it in because it's an or equal to in left or right?
Left.
Left. Whatever direction it is. Thank you. Yes.
So on ones where it's like fractions, like e, if you were to do one and then 1/4 and then 1 is like 2/4 / 1/2, would that still be taken as credit or no?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
She was asking a question like if you sort of zoomed in on the number line. I would like to see the whole numbers. I won't be super duper. I don't want to say that. I'll be picky, but that would be fine.
Sorry.
That's quite all right.
Sorry.
Thank you. Can't really move. All right, G. X is less than 12.5.
Yeah.
So, how should I graph this one?
12.5.
12 and 12.5. It's like a half, right? And then 13.
Maybe we write a 5 instead of a 2.
Open or closed? Open. It's not an or equal to. Left or right?
Left.
Left. Very good. What are your questions? All right, now we're going to go the other way. So you have a graph, and we're going to write the inequality shown by each graph. So I have an X. X is greater than -3. Good. I can tell that it's greater than because it's an open circle, and it's going to the right. So it's not an or equal to. And right for greater than. Those are the numbers bigger than the -3. Okay? Next. X is
less than 2.
incorrect.
Or X is less than or equal to.
X is less than or equal to 2. I can tell that I need the line underneath because it's filled in and it's going to the left. So these are all the numbers less than or equal to 2. Starting at the 2, going to the left. All right, number 3. X is less than 0. Perfect.
Well, once you write this here, you have some value.
Is there no D? It goes A, B, C, E? Okay.
They forgot how to spell.
All right, so for part E, what are we looking at? X is,
Greater than or equal to -6/2.
very good. X is greater than or equal to -6/2. Awesome. What are your questions for today? I believe that's it. Yep. All right, I forgot to put a summary slide on here, so let's summarize it real quick. What did we learn about?
Inequality.
Very good, just inequalities, and you can fill in the rest. So if you have any questions or things you're still confused about, put it with your summary and we can talk about it tomorrow.
You don't even have a summary page.
You always just add it on. I know. All right, any questions? Here comes your homework.